connecting to the real nerds is so easy. You can go to our website, realnerdspodcast.com. You can like us on Facebook. We have a Twitter account, @RealNerds. We also have Instagram. You can call us, 720-6nerds5. You want to email us? You can do that too, realnerds@gmail.com. Thanks for listening, and enjoy the show.
Hello, everybody. I'm JD Lopez, the host of Left Hand Right Brain. It's a free-flowing, wide-ranging conversation that I have with artists doing interesting and creative things here in Denver and beyond. We talk about their personal stories, break down their creative process, and what motivates them. Spoiler alert, it's mostly spite. We talk about all these things and more while kicking back, cracking wise, and always having a good time. You can find old episodes and everything you need to know at lefthandrightbrainpod.com.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Palmiotti, and you're listening to Real Nerds Podcast. Now pay attention and stop playing with your dick.
Welcome to Real Nerds Podcast, unofficially the official podcast at Denver Comic Con 2018 and beyond. I am Ryan. With me always is
Zach.
James.
Brad.
I went to Zach first.
I know. Kind of weird.
I decided to be nice today.
I know. And I thank you for it.
Do you get credit for being nice if you call out how nice you're being?
Of course.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's the only way people know I'm being nice.
Read the kindness handbook, guys.
Every week on Real Nerds Podcast, we go see a new movie and we podcast our experience of the world. This week, we saw American Made, starring the runner, Tom Cruise.
Oh, man.
This week, though, we have a special announcement. One of us, maybe the most talented one, me, is announcing that Brad is a filmmaker. What are you doing, Brad?
I got to... Sorry, I'm distracted by some car that's screaming outside. So the Peak Film Forum in Colorado Springs has invited me to their next event. They do a monthly filmmaker event. Usually it's screening a bunch of short films, and the filmmakers get to talk about them. But this event is all about me.
What?
And it's in the films I've been doing, so I got to carry the whole night.
That's so cool.
And how many films are you going to be showing?
I submitted 2 Pod Show episodes.
Cool. Any of the good ones?
The only good ones.
You son of a bitch.
The ones you wrote, James, okay?
Thank you.
What do you think are the good ones?
I submitted the Extraterrestrial and Jonathan Tierson's Human Barbecue.
Well, those are
I
really
figured
good
Ghost
episodes.
Trappers probably a little too risque for the
Pretty
Colorado
risque.
Springs crowd.
Well, I don't know. One of those episodes, Ryan gets hit in the face with a dick, so
Yeah.
still pretty risque.
It's blurred.
Yeah, it's blurred out.
Yeah, well, yeah, you don't see the dick. You do see the swelling, though.
Oh, yeah. The
Remember when you
bruise.
drew a dick on my face?
I do remember. Yeah, one of those life achievements I'll never forget.
And strangely, very anatomically accurate to Jonathan Tierson's real dick. So I don't know how you did that.
No. Never mind.
So yeah, and then Thunderbolt 1 and 2.
Cool.
Diary of Anya Frank, Catastrophe, and Cardigan Sorrow.
Great.
So and
That's a nice lineup.
And if they need more stuff, the backups are Battle Rap Galactica and something else.
Brad, what do you think your best film you've made is?
My best film, Jean-Claude Van Damme's Stan Van. That's 35 minutes, and that's just like way too much time.
Yeah, it is.
For that.
That's awesome.
Venue.
So when is it? Where is it?
So it's next Wednesday, October 11th, I believe.
Cool.
At 6:30 p.m. at the Pikes Peak Library.
Cool.
So
cool. Yeah,
just go on Facebook, look up Peak, P-E-A-K, Film Forum.
How do you spell film?
P-H-I-L-M. And yeah, it's free, totally free. You just got to show up.
Cool.
And ask me questions.
Congratulations.
It might be free, but it's worth $1 million for everyone who attended.
Aww.
Ding, 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 ding.
Good job, Brad.
It might be free, but
Thanks.
it's cost Brad his whole life.
Yeah.
Cool. One less thing to talk about in and around town.
Well, I wanted to celebrate.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, no, that's really cool.
That's
I hadn't heard about that yet because Brad doesn't tell me anything.
A night with Brad should be rad.
Well,
Fuck
if you
God damn
follow
it.
Brad on Facebook like I do, you would have noticed that he announced it.
Yeah. I shared it, and I would have shared it today, but there's a lot of other more important things happening today.
Yeah.
Fuck.
Didn't want to do too much
Fine.
advertising. Very selfish. So, speaking of things we got going on, this Sunday,
This Sunday, we will be at a place.
Mutiny Information Cafe.
There we go. It'll be part of the launch of the Denver Podcast Network,
Yes.
and we're part of it.
Which we really haven't talked about what that is on the show yet, because we've been putting the bumpers on, but they don't, it's not a bumper that describes exactly what is going on. It just says that we're part of it. So,
Brad,
the Real Nerds,
what's going on?
The Real Nerds, along with 7 other podcasts in Denver, have joined forces to tell Denver that we are the best podcast in Denver. So it's basically a directory of the best podcast content in Denver. And so, we share the website with Left Hand Right Brain, Changing Denver, John of All Trades, who John's been on the show before.
The Revisionists.
The Revisionists, Beyond the Trope.
Mm-hmm.
They're another nerdy podcast. They started out doing literary, like it was a literary podcast.
Yeah,
and
they were
just
on the podcast.
expanded to.
Right.
Were they?
They were at Denver Comic Con. I think we talked to them.
Yeah, they were definitely
Yeah.
at Denver Comic Con.
Yeah.
I think they were one of the interviews.
Yeah, I think we talked to
Yeah.
them.
And
It's not that they're forgettable. We've just done a lot of interviews for the record.
yeah. And then Discover Weekly, which is a music podcast.
And at a Denver Comic Con, it's hard to remember who I just talked to and who I interviewed. So, anyway.
Technically, anybody we talked to, we interviewed too. So
Right. It's just whether or not
technically,
that interview's out there.
we're right.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, Mutiny Information Cafe. I think it starts at
6:30.
6:30. Come on down. There should be some free pizza there, and then I'll be doing like 10-minute sets of our shows.
And we'll be doing a review.
Yeah, which should be Blade Runner
Yep,
2049 this
Blade Runner.
week. So
Yeah.
yep,
And hopefully my real life doesn't get in the way and I can make it there.
yeah.
Yeah.
You definitely don't want just me and Zach doing the show.
Nope.
Because I've heard that episode.
A couple times.
Well, you only heard the first 5 minutes, right? And then you turned it off.
No, I listened to
yeah.
all of it.
Oh,
I listened to just as much of that one as I do every other episode.
Well, it wasn't the only one, because we
None.
did one last year inside of a village inn. So
I'll tell you this.
Yeah.
My mom listened to the whole thing,
yeah.
and I wasn't on it, and she still listened to the whole thing.
That's dedication right there.
She said, don't ever do that again. No, she didn't. No, she was very nice.
"Get new friends," she said.
Right.
if you guys haven't been to the Mutiny Information Cafe, it's pretty freaking awesome. Sell
Oh, cool.
records, books,
Comic books are there.
cereal is sold there. So
Sweet.
it's awesome.
Condoms.
I
What?
wish, but no.
I'm
Love
sure
you
they're
to blow
not.
Lucky Charms and strap on a rubber and go fuck somebody. I'm sorry, Carol.
Wow.
That's
Oh.
a time that's magically delicious.
My goodness.
Yep.
Your son is sleeping innocently right over there.
I know. I'll save
Let's keep it
these.
going.
I'll save these Raising Cane Caniac for him in case he wakes up.
Oh, my goodness. No, don't. Fuck him. Eat the whole thing.
Well,
I ate a whole caniac today.
did you?
A whole one.
They're pretty amazing because I haven't had them in so long.
Ugh.
And you're like, oh, this tastes so good.
I don't even feel like I'm going to die. I thought I would. But I also hadn't really eaten yet today, so there was a lot of room in there.
Nice.
Impacted my colon with chicken.
Sorry, Carol.
But I don't think that I didn't say I impacted my colon. Never mind.
Yep. We also go around town with Brad. Brad tells us what's happening around town in a segment I call Brad around town, going around town on the back when he rides his back around town, sees things in movies. I don't know.
Some boobies or some
That's
movies?
my
I
favorite
almost could
one
cut
yet.
that one out and made it the intro, but then people started laughing.
Well,
It's
I can't help it
always
that I'm
good.
funny.
It's always good.
What you got going on, Brad?
Well, not this Wednesday, but next Wednesday, I'm going to the Peak Film. No, okay. At the Esquire this week, the midnight is Halloween, the original Halloween.
No, that's not till the end of the month.
What?
Halloween's the 31st.
Shut up. So that's cool, but probably even cooler is the weekend after that. No, it's the Room again. Oh yeah, no, it's the Room and Rawhead Rex.
Rawhead Rex is a really cool.
What's Rawhead Rex?
It's a really
It's a really
hard to
shitty
find.
monster movie.
Yeah, 80s monster movie, which for a while on DVD, if you had the DVD, it was worth a lot of money, but I'm getting the
Is
Blu.
it Kino?
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Blu-ray is coming out next week after, something like that.
Yeah. The Alamo's doing, like, I think the last Wednesday of the month, they're doing a screening of this. But if you can't wait that long, there's a Midnight at the Esquire.
I'm really stoked. So, to derail Brad's segment, so I moved and I found out Amazon Prime doesn't deliver to P.O. boxes. It's like in their like little like they say everything, and then like in the very
they mostly
bottom.
ship UPS, and UPS doesn't
Yeah.
do it.
Yeah.
So
I was like, man, this sucks. So I told them when I was talking to them, I said, so what's the point of me having Prime? Because then I can just order $30 worth of stuff and it gets shipped free anyways. And they said, well, why don't you just take the P.O. box off of your address and we'll deliver it to you. I said, okay, well, I'll do that. Are you going to make sure all my stuff shows up, though? Like, yeah, don't worry about it. So today, a day early, I got Cult of Chucky.
Oh, wow.
Still in my P.O. box.
Oh, it just doesn't say
it doesn't say
P.O.
a
box.
P.O. box on it.
So they'll still deliver it.
They'll still
it
deliver
just
it.
doesn't say
Yeah.
P.O. box on it.
So it's still delivered by the United States Postal Service. They went up there and they're like, oh, he lives here. And the ladies there put it in my P.O. box.
Huh.
You gotta get a
So
middleman.
you just physically take the word P.O. box off the address,
Yep.
and they'll still deliver to a
Because
P.O.
you're-
box?
That's what
you're-
Jimmy at Amazon told me.
Because your P.O. box isn't a normal P.O. box. Everyone in your neighborhood has a P.O.
Yeah,
box.
everyone in town has a P.O. box.
Right, because the mail doesn't go any further than the post
Exactly,
office.
because
that makes sense.
Idaho
Whereas
Springs roads are really narrow because it's an old town.
Yeah.
So they don't want to get stuck up there.
Right. But if I went and opened a P.O. box, my address is the post office, and then they don't know beyond that.
Exactly.
Right. Whereas your address the post office? And
No.
then they just
So
know your
my
name?
address is my home address.
Right,
But
exactly.
the P.O. box is my P.O. box number at.
Right.
So mine says P.O. box.
This all makes
this,
perfect sense.
Then my home address in Idaho Springs. So the guy at Amazon's like, yeah, just don't put the P.O. box on it.
Oh, so then that means Amazon probably delivered it early, thinking it would take another day to get to you.
Exactly.
Wow.
So I'm
that's
hoping the same thing will happen with Fractured
Mario
Butthole.
Mario Dynasty or Mario Odyssey.
That is pre-ordered.
Mine too. We'll get to it.
Then the drive-in still has Lego Ninja Go and The Hitman's Bodyguard and It this week until Friday.
Nice.
So yeah.
I appreciate that joke.
For a minute there, I thought that was actually like maybe I've been saying Ninjago wrong this whole time, and it was Ninjago.
No, it's
Ninjago.
No, it's Ninjago.
But maybe in the pitch meeting when they were trying to decide on new Lego sets to make, that you started out with Ninjago, and they're like, let's make it a little more ambiguous. Let's call it Ninjago.
It's Ninjago from the same guy who wrote the Lloyd joke. So that's my whole joke. What are we doing next?
We see movies at Alamo Drafthouse.
Yes, we do.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Kevin Smith.
Hi, I'm Leonard Maltin.
Hi, I'm Mark Hamill.
Hi, I'm Elijah Wood.
This is Seth Rogen.
I'm Christopher Mintz-Plasse.
I'm Ron Starr.
Welcome to the Alamo Drafthouse.
This week at the Alamo Drafthouse,
the whole intro?
starting Wednesday since today's Monday, Geeks Who Drink is going to be there at 7 p.m. at the Littleton location.
And that's every week.
The Barfly is having ham on rye with summer browning. Barfly does a lot of like poetry and things like that. I'm guessing that's what it is.
Yeah.
Thursday, there's no event scheduled at the Littleton location, but at Sloan's Lake, you can see Don't Break Down, a film about Jawbreaker. All right. Friday, the Littleton location is presenting They Live with live wrestling.
Oh God,
Calm
that sounds
down.
awesome.
That's awesome. Sloan's Lake is showing Reanimator and Beer Fest. I always thought Beer Fest was kind of overrated.
I already.
It's a fun
own it,
movie.
though, now, thanks to you.
Yeah, but you can go see it in the big screen.
That's true.
It's worth it.
That's true.
On Saturday, the Littleton is showing Beetlejuice and Evil Dead 2 again. Sloan's Lake is having a My Little Pony, the movie, serial party. Hairspray, 1988, so you can see John Waters.
Yeah.
Be weird.
Yeah.
Sunday, My Little Pony is also showing at Littleton Serial Party. Littleton is also showing The Craft. And the free victory screening of Psycho is also happening at Sloan's Lake.
Ooh, that would be fun. Have you watched Psycho on a big screen before?
No, I have not.
It's fun. I usually hope there's a bigger crowd because you sometimes get some people that have never seen it and they're seeing it for the first time, and you actually hear reactions.
Nice.
I did it at Esquire at midnight once, and I think it was a packed house, and there were more people there that hadn't seen it than had seen it. So it was interesting.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
I guess I figure everyone would see it, but not everyone likes film like I
think
do.
it's like everyone knows the twist, but it's such an effective film that you can feel the tension and feel the scares with it. You know?
Yep.
Didn't we have a message this week about Gene Hackman?
Oh yeah.
Where was that?
Glenn wanted us to do a roundtable discussion of Gene Hackman's.
So is that fan mail?
I guess.
Fan mail. Welcome to fan mail. We're really good at interstitials this week.
We hardly ever get fan mail, so every opportunity
We do
can
get
use
fan
the
mail.
bumper.
We do get fan mail. I just edit it out if it's not good.
Oh
Wow.
yeah.
Oh my, yeah. I remember the days
So
when
we
I
get
used
a
to
lot of
like,
terrible fan mail.
I used to beg people to send us their spam because I thought it would be funny.
And now we just get like, I think this movie is a bit, and I'm like, I don't even want to.
Here's a credit card application.
There's a prince in Nigeria that wants.
I thought it was an interesting question. That's why, and I thought I almost like went ahead and put together a top 10 list, and then I didn't quite have time. But also because when I was looking at it, and he's right, there's so many freaking amazing Gene Hackman
Number
films.
one, The Replacements.
Really?
No.
I mean, if you were serious, that's fair.
I would have thought you were going to say Ants. There's a few really important ones like Mississippi Burning. I've actually never seen.
Oh God.
I know. Stop looking at me.
You need
like
to see
that.
it once.
Yeah.
I could watch it again and again.
But I think he's amazing in like The Quick and the Dead
Mm-hmm.
and Unforgiven and Crimson Tide and The Mexican
Royal
and
Tenenbaums.
Behind Enemy Lines. He's really good in Behind Enemy Lines.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
A
And
lot of
Heist.
good movies.
Yeah.
And don't forget, he spilled some soup into Peter Boyle's crotch in Young Frankenstein.
He did.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the message is, we should do a roundtable discussion of your 10 favorite Gene Hackman films. And Brad's like, I don't know if I've seen enough Gene Hackman to make a list.
I think I've seen probably exactly 10. I think I don't know.
So yeah, we'll think about it, or maybe we'll integrate it into a show one time.
Yeah. It'd be good to figure out it'd be good to plan for it because for something like, again, there's so many on his list that I'm like, oh man, I've never seen Power. Maybe he's amazing in Power. Maybe Power is his best film.
Hoosiers is a good movie.
Hoosiers is a good movie.
Yeah. I own Hoosiers. I haven't seen it yet. Sorry, Dad.
Yeah, it's great. I haven't seen it.
I own it. Haven't watched it.
There you go.
He's in I know what the best Gene Hackman movie is. Because he's in Spider-Man Once Upon a Time the Superheroes, which is like an old 80s Spider-Man movie.
Sure. I've never seen that Spider-Man. It's really hard to find him.
It's a documentary about the history of Marvel Comics.
Well, then it is the best one.
Yep.
There you go.
Anyway,
I'm gonna say Quest for Peace, but we each have our own
I
favorites.
was gonna say I bet he's in that Spider-Man documentary as a clip from Superman.
I bet.
Oh, he might be, yeah.
Yeah,
He might be.
because they're probably talking about for a couple seconds about DC, like their rivals.
See, that's so tough because I think Superman is actually I think Superman's a great movie, but I
Yeah.
don't think he's that good in it. And I might be the only
Yeah.
one because everyone talks about how they like Hackman in it, but I think he's too over the top in it.
Yeah, it's not great.
Well, he's doing his own interpretation of Lex Luthor.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
And
know.
and it was like 78. It's,
And it is shitty DC.
I forgot about the shitty DC part.
Yeah. But the score's real good. Hope they use that again.
I heard they are.
yeah.
They should.
Anyway, maybe we'll do that sometime.
We will also watch movies throughout the week in a segment I call What We've Been Watching.
So, yeah, this is the stuff we've been watching.
There we go.
I changed it this week.
Finally, one good interstitial segue. Like, shit.
Zach, what'd you watch this week?
Not that much. I got my.
Good.
I covered all my bases this week in case we decided to all do switch arounds. So in addition to this week's movie, I saw Battle of the Sexes.
Oh, cool.
The same day, so I did a double feature. It's really good. I know you saw it because I saw it on your
Totally ruined my prank today.
Oh.
I'm sorry.
I guess Brad didn't see American Made.
Well, I mean, if you check his Instagram,
I'll figure
you'll
something
know
else
the answer.
I'll salvage this bit.
Yeah. No.
Let's hand it over to a real writer.
Okay, yeah. So I saw Battle of the Sexes.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I feel bad for ruining your
No,
joke.
let's talk about it together.
Yeah.
Cat's out of the bag.
I thought it was good. It's a pretty standard biopic. Like, I think it.
I was disappointed that, well, it is a good movie, but it's not. I'd say like 30% of it is the actual title game. for the movie.
Oh yeah.
Most of the movie is actually just Billie Jean King's relationship with her
lover.
Under. I'm trying to find the right word.
She's lesbian, so.
But like down low.
Yeah, the down low. Yeah, she's hiding it from her husband, but her husband knows because her husband's not stupid.
You wanted the movie to be more about the tennis match?
I mean, that's what it was advertised as, because they kind of make it seem like an even split of
that's
Bobby Riggs versus Billie Jean King, but he's just
literally the tennis match. Like, you don't mean that 30% of the movie is about watching them play tennis. You mean only 30% of the movie is about setting up the tennis match.
No, but 30 minutes of the movie is the actual network television event, Battle of the Sexes.
Yeah,
Billie Jean King versus Bobby Riggs.
The other 70% is Billie Jean King's gay relationship and
the setup, and Steve Carell setting up the match.
Yeah,
like that's what I would expect.
I think there's an even split between the two. But see, here's the thing: I would have said what you said in terms of like it's mostly just that and not what was advertised. I got the Billie Jean King element kind of ruined for me on a news segment on CBS. So I knew that this was going to be part of the movie.
I figured it was going to be, but it's more of a Billie Jean King biopic than it is like a biopic of the match, which is what
okay.
Yeah, I know. Well, I mean,
now I see what
the
you're
movie's
saying,
advertising
it. To
as.
be fair, when you've got like those two in the movie, it's smart to technically sell it the way they're selling it.
I thought you were saying like, oh man, I'm really disappointed in Cool Runnings. I thought the whole movie was going to be the one time they went down the slope, and I was like, oh, but yeah, no, that
I thought
I
it'd
see
be
what
like
you're
a
saying.
spy
more.
versus spy, like Billie Jean King versus Bobby Riggs, like back and forth through the whole movie. I'm not saying it was bad.
Yeah.
I'm just saying like I was surprised that a movie that sold me as like the build up to the match was actually more of like
you weren't
80%
expecting
Billie Jean King's gay relationship movie.
Well,
you were
fine.
You were expecting the Warcraft movie, and what you got was Rocky. If Rocky was a gay woman.
That is a weird analogy.
Yeah,
I have no idea what he's trying to draw there.
You okay? You having a stroke there, buddy?
No, I'm great.
No, but I mean,
made total sense in my head.
I think it's good. I think Steve Carell is like, from the past couple of movies he's done, he's shown that he's on his acting game. Like he's not the primary focus here, but what he's delivering is actually pretty good. It's like there's moments where I feel bad for his character, even though he is a total misogynistic asshole throughout the entire thing.
Well, the movie paints it as it's an act. Like he doesn't actually feel that way, but because of his gambling problem, he's just trying to.
He's a hustler, so.
And he's trying to get back in the graces of his wife, which also there's
irony.
Yeah, well, like I said, it's all an act, so it's very Sorry, I was trying to say the other thing that's weird is his like supplement cocktail maker. I thought it did a little disservice to the story, because suddenly it almost seems like having that element to the story kind of makes it seem like Bobby Riggs was too intoxicated to win that match, and so it diminishes Billie Jean King's win.
Interesting.
I think that would be something to look up in the history thing, because like I don't know what's in those actual pills, because like all I'm seeing when I'm seeing it initially is that he's just taking a shit ton of vitamins that or placebos or whatnot, you know.
But I don't know, the way the movie made it seem like is like that guy was like a snake oil salesman.
Yeah,
just selling a bunch of stupid
mean
shit.
He was like high the entire time or anything like that.
I know, but just the movie kind of like having that element like misinterpreted, like maybe I am. It diminishes Billie Jean King's win, which I think is a disservice to the movie. So I didn't like that element to it, because they do a lot of good work, being pro-feminist and all that, and then all of a sudden, like the big title game, which is also shot pretty blandly, like it's almost like just watching, which is all the 70s stuff, like the aesthetic to it is like really faithful,
cool,
and everything, and great. But then all of a sudden, like you have this opportunity to recreate that match, and most of it's still like you're watching it as you did in the 70s.
which I actually think was a benefit to the film. I understand, though, what you're saying, that you had a chance to be more dynamic with the way the camera moves.
Yeah, you're recreating it. Like, you can show another side.
And especially from their perspective, too.
And there's a couple shots like that, but like overall, it's either television shot or it's like them facing each other.
And it's interesting because, like, I guess the reason I liked it is because they stayed faithful to the fact that this was, at the end of the day, like one big spectacle, exhibitionist event at the end of the day, presented by ABC on television. And the way it edits to lead up to them actually starting the match, I thought it was actually pretty clever. So, in order to homage it, while at the same time not necessarily drawing too much attention to it, I don't feel like it doesn't like take me out of it, I guess is what I'm saying. But yeah, I like the film. It's a pretty looking film. Like it looks like it was shot on 70 stock, man.
It was shot on film.
Yeah, no, but yeah. I'm saying like the actual stock that would have been available then, like because stock style changes. So.
It's easier to do that when it's shot on film.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I liked that. I got my Porky Pig collection on DVD, and the restorations on those cartoons are fucking magnificent.
Yeah, pretty good for a DVD.
I know. I was
sorry, I'm sick, so I'm like trying to like focus and.
Yeah.
Anyways, it's.
No, I understand. I didn't know if you wanted to talk about it.
No, I watched the first disc.
Okay.
How much did you watch?
I got through the first disc and through the first 5 of the second disc.
It's the trajectory of Porky Pig is pretty fascinating. For people who don't know, Porky Pig was actually the first cartoon star for Looney Tunes, but he didn't start out as a star. He started in I
Haven't Got a Hat.
I Haven't Got a Hat, and he's just a schoolmate of the main character. His name Beans. He's a little cat kid. Mm-hmm. And when he goes up there, he's, Porky has a stutter and he's funny. And then the next cartoon he's in, he's a middle-aged, super fat pig whose daughter is going to marry Beans if they get gold.
And it's weird. I think they were trying to push a weird catchphrase on us that didn't catch on, which was like, yeah!
Yeah. Well, actually, I laughed pretty hard at the end. So,
oh, yeah.
So the setup is they're in this gold rush era of town. And Porky says, if you go save my gold, then you can marry my daughter. So Beans drives up there, gets this bag of gold, and gets down there from like the railroad baron, I don't know, guys, and he gives it to Porky. He's like, here's your gold, and he opens, it's just a big sandwich.
He's like, gold nothing, that's my lunch.
That's my lunch. I laughed really hard the World War One, like,
oh, the Doughboy one. Well, no, Doughboy,
it's like Porky Pig and a couple of the other characters, Beans and what's the I forget the little girl's name.
Yeah.
But they're just basically acting out like World War II trench warfare stuff.
I mean, it would have been World War I at that point.
World War I, I'm sorry. World War I. And I thought it was really funny.
What's interesting is like watching some of that stuff, like, so there's obviously still some film scratch because some of these cartoons didn't get the best attention until now. But what was interesting is like just watching the way the lines move and whatnot for those black and white ones.
Yeah.
The color one, obviously you get the color, so that pops out more. With these black and whites, like you can see some animation lines and whatnot.
Yeah,
some of the early ones.
It's fine. And I really loved. It might have been his first or second one where he was the star, and he goes into the Airman Corps, and he's trying to say his name. My name's my name's He's like, just write it down, and so he writes P-P-P-P-P. It's like you can see the genesis of Looney Tunes really starting there. And people don't know Bugs Bunny got his start in unofficial start in a Porky Pig cartoon, and so did Daffy Duck. And the cartoons are funny.
I think the Daffy one is Porky's Duck Hunt, which I haven't gotten to yet, but I've seen it before.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, it's good. The commentaries are interesting.
Yeah.
Some of them are by superfans though; they're not even just by film historians, which I think is fascinating because what a historian thinks is important and what a fan thinks is important is...
Sometimes they're boring, though. I listened to a film historian talk about The Bride of Frankenstein, and I wanted to gouge my eyeballs out.
See, for me, that's just how I fall asleep, is like, oh, this is good ether.
But you could tell the film historian, was reading from an essay.
Yeah, well, I mean, he might have been reading from an essay he wrote. Like, that's how they do it for Criterion sometimes. Like,
yeah, film historians.
They sound
boring.
like they're reading from their text. Rudy Belmer is the only one I feel that gets actually interested in the stuff he's talking about.
The only thing that bothers me, they should talk about what's happening on screen.
I think so too.
It's annoying when he's like, James Well, when he was dreaming, and what the fuck does it have to do with Mary Shelley standing right there?
You want to be like, will you shut up? Frankenstein's killing somebody.
But yeah, no, Porky Pig is great. It's astounding to me that that's actually even made, and that it's on demand, so they make them as you order them. So make sure you order it if you have any interest in classic cartoons.
At first, when I opened the package from Amazon, I looked at it and I'm like, this looks like a bootleg.
I know,
Did I get
right?
the right item? And I looked on it because it has like DVD written in weird font on,
Yeah.
on the spine. And I was like, is this fake? And I looked at everything and I checked my disc. The only thing that I noticed is that I must have gotten one of the ones that are on demand, as opposed to the ones that were factory printed for the first couple runs. Because at the top of on your computer, it will read the disc and it'll usually say the title of the film. At the top of the disc, the label was like a number. So I was like, oh, that's interesting. Like,
I think mine was made on demand too, but it doesn't. I don't know because I have a smart TV.
Well, yeah, you were probably watching it on your TV.
Yeah.
I was watching it on my computer, so that's kind of probably where that happened. But
yeah. So any interest in classic animation, I think you should get it.
yeah, so yeah, it's great, and it was really inexpensive too.
Yeah,
for
$37.
considering like all the stuff you get. You get 100 cartoons, so
101
Yeah,
cartoons.
that's right. I was off by one.
Yep.
And then only other thing I watched this week was I rewatched some Stranger Things because it's just in the
Gotta
mood.
get ready.
Well, yeah, got to get ready for that
get
thing
ready.
called season 2. It's cool. I like it. I mean, I've said
Yeah.
it before. I like it. So just rewatching it.
That's fun.
Not much to talk about. So that's all I watched this week.
Brad?
Not a lot for me either. First, I watched Forrest Gump. I haven't seen it since the 90s.
It's great.
Yeah, it's a fine film. It's interesting. The thought I had through most of it was they don't make just character epics anymore. Like, there's no like explosive,
Fake biopic.
drama. Huh?
It's a fake biopic.
Yeah, that is kind of what it is. Yeah,
which
it's
is a cool structure.
Right,
Yeah,
but
now-
it's just
now
a
we
movie
get a
about
lot of
emotions
biopics.
and like
Yeah.
life and stuff. They don't really. That's if they do, it's like in
Manchester
it's
by
the
the
Mayan,
Sea.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, or boring in that case.
Well, I'm just saying, like that's what that's turned into.
Depressing.
Yeah,
You
it's like
take
those
that back.
Yeah,
Yeah, just not a lot
Depressing part
of
with the
feel-good
board.
movies and
yeah.
Mud. No, that's actually got some murder in it. Never mind.
So yeah, that's nice. I haven't seen that in a while.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Do you want some ice cream, Brad?
And then, I didn't realize Bubba he's like in 24. He's the CTU director. I think season 9.
I don't remember.
It goes to 9.
Well, I think 9 is the
Is
Live
the-
Another Day
yeah,
season.
Live Another Day.
Oh, okay.
I think,
Yeah.
or maybe it's the season before that. Whenever, or is it the New York one?
I don't remember.
I think he's the New York director.
'Cause I don't remember what he looks like in Forrest Gump. It's been a while since I've seen that too. That's a good movie. I should watch that soon.
Yeah, it was just one of those Netflix recommends things. So, and then the last thing I saw is 2 episodes of Star Trek Discovery.
Hey,
James, did you watch it too?
I did. I've
Yeah.
only seen the first 2.
Yeah,
But I accidentally spoilers for my review. I accidentally let my All Access renew, so I'm going to watch 4 more episodes.
Yep.
I'm going to...
But can't you watch them on TV too?
No.
Just the first one.
Just the first one.
I thought they were showing
So
them like
my-
on Saturday or something.
Yeah, they my parents watched the first one on TV, and then you got to the end, and we're like, wait, we have to pay what to see what? I was arguing about this before, because I was like, for Rick and Morty, I don't stay up late, and I don't have a DVR. I pay for cable, but like the cable box isn't even hooked up. I only pay for cable because it makes my internet cheaper. So with Rick and Morty or Halt and Catch Fire, I just buy the whole season on Amazon, and then the day after the episode airs, it's on Amazon, and I watch that episode. And I pay like $24 for the season, and I get the whole season, and I own it, and I watch it without commercials.
If you haven't applied for CBS All Access yet, there's 2 options for your subscription.
There are. So if you buy the normal version, it's like $7 a month, and it's going to take you 3 or 4 months to watch the whole show. So if you do the math, you're going to end up paying, somewhere around $28 to watch Star Trek Beyond. And by the end of it, you won't own it, and you will watch commercials the whole time, because you have to watch commercials during All Access unless you pay $10 a month to watch.
I thought it was 12.
Oh, I think it was $9.99. I thought it was $6.99 and $9.99.
It was double digits when I applied.
Oh, maybe they got so many subscribers. They're like, hey, we got to raise these prices, man. We can't just let anybody watch this shit. The shit, by the way, everything else on CBS, they transmit through the air to your television
So is
using
Star Trek-
government oxygen.
So is Star Trek the only show that's like
Exclusive to-
exclusive
They're
there?
going to do some other ones, and they'll give you lots of commercials about the other shows you can watch on CBS All Access while you watch.
This isn't a Star Trek review. This is a CBS condemnation.
So let me be clear. If Star Trek were good, I would totally pay. I bought another version of Firefly on Blu-ray that before the show I even said is literally the same discs in a different cardboard box, and I paid $20 for it because it was dope as hell, and I like supporting things that I like. And I love Star Trek, and I've been watching Star Trek my whole life. It pains me to think of watching another episode of this obnoxiously written piece of shit insulting to any Star Trek fan garbage that they have put Star Trek on. And for it to have dropped this low from how great I was excited when Brian Fuller was going to make this, like, for it to be this obnoxiously bad is just awful.
I'm not laughing at your pain. I'm just laughing at your enthusiasm.
It's so annoying.
I didn't hate it that much, but it was pretty boring.
It's really boring.
So there's a human that's raised by Vulcans, specifically Sarek. Her name is Michael Burnham.
Because the only well we can go to is conversations about logic versus rationale.
And how edgy is it to have a traditionally male name attached to a female character?
Yeah, I guess that's cool.
So right away, the Starfleet officers are not the embodiment of Roddenberry's vision.
No.
They are very flawed.
And dumb.
Snarky and dumb.
There's literally a scene maybe in the first 10 minutes where two of them are just squabbling over a console.
Yep.
Oh no, and let me read the buttons. You're like, what the fuck? This is not the ideal version of humanity.
They are not working together.
No.
Everyone has their own agenda. The dialogue's pretty terrible in places. Very tritely written. It's almost like they're killing time walking around that desert because they have to hit 45 minutes or something.
Well, and even that whole desert sequence, for that to be the first cool reveal of look at these smart characters is, again, insulting to Star Trek fans who what Star Trek fans really want is a smart show that's talking about humanity and these big ideas and veiled inside of some cool sci-fi kind of things, right? And they care about, or we care about, the science at least being, we want the science to make sense as far as you get to the point where somebody's just rambling off blurbs about we've got a breach in the blah, 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 and then we all stop listening, but you at least have an excuse for what it is. The fact that the first reveal of the show, which spoilers, is oh, our radios aren't working, so we gotta figure out how the ship can find us. Well, let's walk in a giant circle shaped like a Starfleet symbol, so that way from fucking space they're gonna see our footprints in a desert that are still there after 2 hours of walking in the desert because there's apparently no wind. Even that alone, first thing I was like, fuck, oh no. This is worse than why is the Enterprise underwater? I'm fine with the Enterprise being underwater at the beginning of Into Darkness, but the being able to see footprints from space because our radios don't work. Come on.
They might not have been in space. They might have been in the lower atmosphere. Anyway,
why don't their radios just work?
And so most of the story revolves around apparently the Klingons have been out of commission for about 100 years.
It's very confusing.
Which is confusing because early in the story, the Michael Burnham character is orphaned because the Klingons attacked and killed her family.
Right, but
that's why she has a grudge against them.
Yeah, but they've been missing for 100 years.
So she's 100 years old?
I don't know.
But she's not a Vulcan.
But also, there's just one ship, and then apparently the entire Empire still exists.
Yes, and they've just been hanging out in this asteroid field next to a sun that's contracting.
Yeah.
And so they stumble onto it.
A satellite gets damaged. Yeah. So this main ship, not the Discovery, which is important. The Shinzo is there to investigate this satellite, and then because they can't get into the asteroid field, and because there's a squiggly dot on their screen, she's like, "Well, why don't you shoot me from a cannon out in a spacesuit to go look at this thing?" Because she's dumb. All their plans are dumb. They argue about dumb things.
And then she accidentally kills a Klingon while she's on the ship.
Yeah. So she starts a war with the Klingons.
And I felt there was so much promise because the episode starts with the Klingons, and I feel like he's giving a speech about wanting peace. And so I'm like, oh, there's going to be like some diplomatic confusion, and like they're going to go to war over something that is unintentional.
Yes.
And then by the end of the episode, you realize he's just another madman.
Yes.
Who wants to destroy things because his race no longer has pride, or they've been weakened because of Starfleet. So it's just the traditional story.
What they got wrong is this whole episode could have taken place in a room where there's a Klingon and a person, and the whole episode is them talking and arguing about things, and there's like good dialogue, and some of them like misinterpret things, and like there's some problems, and they have to come, and then they end up insulting each other, and they leave, and that would have been a better episode than these two episodes were. Like, because he ends up being this guy who sort of wants to be martyred to start a war, but he doesn't really have any motivations. Like, this guy has fewer understandable motivations than not Ronan, the guy from J.J. Abrams' first Star Trek movie, right? Like
Nero.
Like, yeah, Nero, right? Like, all you needed to do was like, at least one scene where he's like, they killed my family. I hate those white. Like, he's actually just a white supremacist
Starfleet took my
Klingon,
family.
which is kind of interesting. Like, to basically be like, hey, I don't like Starfleet because they come in and they strip whole societies and races of their individuality and make them all like Starfleet. But you know how that would have been a lot more interesting? In a courtroom where they're trying to, like, where they get sent to Klingon to have a conversation, be like, hey, we want you to join Starfleet. And Klingons are like, you guys ruin everything, and you gentrify every nation you come to, and we don't like it, and you're going to take away what makes us special. And, like, that would have been a great episode, and I would have really wanted to pay $20 to rent episodes and watch commercials. But, man, like, I will say the production values are pretty good.
Yeah, it's a gorgeous-looking show.
Yeah.
It's like cinema quality effects and stuff. And then the opening title stuff is a little, like, it's tame, but it's like that artsy HBO-y intro.
It's very Star Trek Enterprise.
Even light. Like,
yeah, I mean, I like Star Trek Enterprise more, but...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, the graphics are cool, but, like, the tune is very mellow. It's not very rousing like the best Star Trek shows have been.
I will also voice my mom's concerns, because her first complaint was that the Klingons don't look like Klingons, and she doesn't mean the makeup. She actually just means the costumes, because they're all, like, glittery and, like they're flashy.
Yeah.
Like, they don't look like cool.
And all the Klingons are bald.
Yeah, and they don't have... Their weapons are all, like, overly fancy and weird now.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they just had a batleth, I'd have been like, okay.
There was one
good.
batleth, but it was...
But it's a batleth.
Pre-batleth.
Yeah, it's like a batleth with, like, weird shapes on it. Like, it's not a normal...
It's supposed to be a pre-Kirk Star Trek, so...
I don't know what universe
Styles.
this takes place in.
Yeah. We'll find out. There's a preview for episode 3 at the end of episode 2, and it almost feels like that's where the actual series starts.
Yeah.
Because it's very more...
Because the first 2 episodes and the episodes they use to market the show don't have the Star Trek Discovery in it.
Yeah.
Or the Starfleet Discovery. The Discovery doesn't show up until episode 3. Because... So, spoilers for the end of the second episode, like... Your main character does all these ridiculous, dumb... nonsensical things, including Vulcan neck pinching her captain, and she does it to try and commit genocide and kill a bunch of Klingons, which is also not very Star Trek. And she has no real reason or motivation to do so. And then she ends up, like, they survive, sort of, and then she goes to jail at the end. So everything that happens at the beginning is like the backstory of like why she's in jail.
Episode 1 and 2 are like episode 0.
Yeah. It could be, if this show suddenly got new writers and they got better performances out of their actors starting in episode 3, this could be great. Where if starting in episode 3 it becomes more about like, hey, other Star Trek shows have always been about your captains and your guys who have colored shirts. And these are really about the grunts and the people who are lower and the people who maybe aren't in Starfleet, and really exploring the universe from a different point of view, and maybe showing sort of the downside of this whole society, and that maybe it wasn't ever as perfect as we portrayed it. while I disagree with that motivation, I think that could be an interesting show. I have absolutely zero faith that that's what they're going to do. But I guess now I'm going to suffer through at least 4 more episodes before I can finally cancel my CBS All Access.
So what you're saying is you should not boldly go watch the show.
Boo. I would like to boldly go home.
Turn off his mic.
I'd like to boldly fire everyone involved. Every time I see like an article about like, oh, you might have to wait till 2019 to see season 2. I'm like, you might have to wait till 2019.
This could be the final frontier for that show. Yeah, I know.
Turn off his mic. Turn it off.
Don't worry, I won't go for a third.
So that's
one.
it for me this week.
No, I literally turned it off this time.
James?
Yeah, I watched Star Trek Discovery, and then not a whole lot
Start
else.
from the beginning.
I got a Switch.
Nice.
So I spent a lot of time just playing SteamWorld Dig, which is awesome. If you have a Switch, you should go get SteamWorld Dig.
Did you get a gray Switch or the color Switch?
I got the gray Switch because that's the one they had at Walmart at the time I went, and also because I was I think that's the one I wanted. You know, I mean, I like a splash of color, but at the same time, you know.
The Splatoon one's out, right? It's like green
Yes,
and purple.
you can get that one at Walmart,
Yeah.
but then you end up paying $60 more because you have to buy Splatoon, right? It's not it's not a deal. It's not like, hey, pay $300 and you get free Splatoon. But it's like a purple and a lime green, you know, which is pretty cool. If I wanted to, I would just wait and get the Mario one, but I was convinced to go ahead and get one because I was talking to Rafe, and there were some games that he was like, oh, you should play X, Y, and Z. And then the other thing was he was like, yeah, the closer you get to Mario, the harder they're going to be to find, which ended up being true because the first Best Buy I went to, they were sold out of Switches. So I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to get one now. So that way I have one. And it's been great. I really enjoy it. And the battery life is great. So I can just like get in bed and play games and then pass out. Anyway.
Are you going to get Zelda?
Dan, my roommate, has Zelda. So I'm just borrowing his copy of Zelda. So, because I've never been a huge Zelda fan, but I figured like I'll at least play it. It's at least something to get me through till the 27th when I can play Mario.
You can't have a Switch and not play Zelda.
It's pretty good. I've hit people with sticks, and I like shooting guys in the face with arrows. That's pretty all right. And then I started rewatching Freaks and Geeks because I got Brooks watching Freaks and Geeks, and that show was amazing. I haven't seen it in a couple of years, and man, especially that first episode is just so damn strong. And then I forgot how quickly it moves. Like by episode 3, you're already taking villains from the first episode and turning them into like sympathetic, lovable characters. Because one of the things I said to her, like after that first episode, I was like, see all those crazy characters, even like Seth Rogen, like all these characters who are barely in the show right now are all going to get really great heartfelt stories, so that by the end of the season, every single person in this pilot you're going to feel for and really love. Man, I mean, that show is just such a perfect little thing that I still think is probably the best thing that Judd Apatow's ever done.
Still love it when the guidance counselor goes to that bar and starts singing "I'm 18" by Alice Cooper.
Yeah,
it's like that's adorable.
Man, yeah. I mean, the best episode is Bill's episode when his mom starts dating the PE teacher, and like his day is stressful and shitty, and he hates it, and he comes home and watches Steve Martin on the TV, and the credits roll, and you're like, oh, okay, yep. So anyway,
I also like the one where Seth Rogen is dating the girl, and then he's having the conversation with John Francis Daly's character. I can never remember his name. Sam.
Oh yes,
Sam.
Yeah.
And she's like, my girlfriend didn't like the jerk, and Seth Rogen's like, my girlfriend loved the jerk.
Yeah,
that's one of my favorite lines from the show, like interactions at least. So.
No, it's great. Yeah. I mean, yes.
It's not as good as the Bill episode, but it's...
Oh, no. I mean, but that's a perfect example where, like, you watch that first episode and Sam is, like, pining after this cheerleader girl, and you go, like, oh...
This is going to end badly.
This is going to end realistically.
Or realistically,
right? Like, what a beautiful story of the way that this shit works, where, like, you have those, you know, oh, man, there's the prettiest girl in school, and he tells this story of the geek finally getting, like, the pretty girl, and she doesn't like the jerk. And she's actually really annoying, and everything like her family is no fun, and she's not actually fun to be around. And like then he has to decide whether or not to break up with her. Like, it's a great, very real, honest show that's on Netflix, and you can watch it anytime, and you should. So,
Tails taken off.
Ryan?
This week I didn't watch too much. I really just rewatched stuff. I rewatched Wonder Woman. It looks great on 4K. Chris Pine's great in it. Gal Gadot is great. And yeah, I just enjoy that movie. It's really fun. I rewatched Underworld Blood Wars in 4K.
There you go.
Hell yeah.
We're going to stop the war just because.
The fourth worst film of the year. Well, maybe.
I don't know yet. It's still fun.
It's so silly.
It is. I watch it and slowed it down a little bit. I mean, they do explain a little more. Because I swore there, you just like get out of here. I'm like, okay, see you later. Which
crazy.
still kind of happens, but there is a little more build up to it.
There's a little more reason behind it.
Yeah, there's a little slight.
Reason's a strong word, Zach.
The thing I do like about the Underworld is all the actors always come back, except for Scott Speedman. What the fuck is Scott Speedman doing right now?
I know.
Didn't he get killed, though? I
No.
thought that's what was in the...
Yeah, he did.
Yes, but only because he didn't come back.
Yeah, only because he didn't come back.
Oh, well. Scott
Yeah.
Speedman's got to do those cameos in the Stranger Directors movies.
Yeah, because he was in 1 and 2, and then Awakenings he doesn't come back.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, he was in The Monster for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's it's a fun movie. And the only new movie I watched is I took my little guy to see the Ninja Go movie, the Lego Ninja Go movie. And
Is it good?
So it's great for the first 45 minutes.
Oh no.
And then, so in the movie, the Green Ninja's dad is the evil guy, and his name's Lloyd, and he calls him Lloyd, and he says, "Well, that's because I named you it, so it's not Lloyd, it's Lloyd." So that joke's really funny for a while. And
That joke's really funny for a while.
and Dave Franco plays the Green Ninja. He's pretty great in it. It opens with a live action scene with Jackie Chan and another kid.
Cool.
Wait.
What?
Yeah. So,
Say that sentence again.
So
it opens with a live action sequence.
with Jackie Chan and some kid.
Holy
and Jackie Chan
shit.
is explaining to him that you never know who the hero's going to be. So he takes a Lloyd action figure and moves it in front of the Green Ninja. He says, "Oh, so you never know who it is," because everyone loves the Green Ninja, but they hate Lloyd at school. And his name's Lloyd. I just think Lloyd's funny.
No,
and,
that's great.
That's
what his dad named him.
Yeah, and so everyone doesn't like him, and they have a song like basically like Scotty doesn't know, but it's Lloyd. And so every time I forget the main bad guy's name. He's played by Justin Terrio, and he's great. But he always attacks when this number one hit of "It's Lloyd's Fault" comes on the radio, and it's really funny, and it has that really. I was thinking as I was watching it, I love the Hot Shots movies and Airplane and stuff because it has that really goofy sense of humor where it never makes sense, but it's always funny. Mm-hmm. And it has that for the first 45 minutes, and they kind of go on this adventure of the dad and the son reconnecting, and it kind of loses steam there. But the setup's really funny. I can't remember all the jokes, but it works really well for the first 45 minutes. And I don't even know what the fucking Ninjago is. I know it's a line of Lego toys.
Yeah, it's really just a line of Lego toys where they make a lot of ninja stuff.
Yeah, and so Kellen loved it
show.
because it's ninjas and dragons, and so
there's dragons.
Yeah.
What?
So the Green Ninja's mech is a dragon, and so when his dad attacks and he gets really mad at him, he's like, "Shoot all the missiles," and it's like head missile, backup head missile, back up to the backup head missile, and so he's like missiles. It's funny, and his dad always makes things out of sharks, and so his mega mech, he comes I don't know, after he gets defeated the first time, he comes back and it shoots sharks. And when it shoots, it goes nom 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 nom. That stuff's funny.
That this all sounds like really good Lego movie jokes.
Yeah, so it's good, and then it kind of peters out, but it's still a fun movie. Colin liked it, and that's all that really matters. It held his interest the whole 30 hour and 35 minutes.
Cool.
And it was fun.
I'm still curious to see it, but it does feel like that's way more geared toward children than
it is.
adults.
You can tell it's geared more towards
littler kids,
little boys. There's still some really funny bits with Justin Terrio and Lloyd's mom.
I was gonna say, do you mean Justin Theroux?
Thoreau, whatever.
Okay.
When I wrote down things he's mispronounced for the 300th episode, like that was one of them. In 6 years, he hasn't got it right.
I thought I just didn't know who he was talking about.
Yeah, Chris Terrio is the writer of Batman v Superman in some Pirates movies.
And
Whatever.
Fargo.
He's married to Jennifer Aniston. He doesn't care what I say about him.
True.
But yeah, he's funny.
Cool. I always like Justin Theroux. Justin. Justin.
JT.
Yeah.
I love him.
JT's great.
in the movie Your Highness, and it's a weird.
Yeah,
role.
yeah. He's actually a really accomplished writer too.
Yeah.
But he's always really funny in movies.
He co-wrote Iron Man 2.
Charlie's Angels Full Throttle, everybody.
Iron Man 2?
It just said Iron Man 2.
I know, I was trying to erase Charlie's Angels Full Throttle from the comments.
But and he's
JT's really good in Black Snake Moan.
yeah. He's good in
Different
Girl-
JT.
Yeah. He's good on Girl on a Train.
Yes, he's great in Girl on a Train.
Yeah. So he's a very talented man.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, that's what I watched this week.
Sweet.
What's coming out on Blu-ray?
DVD releases and Blu-rays.
Goon, The Last of the Enforcers, is coming out on Blu-ray this week,
The first one's
which is
great.
the sequel to Goon. You've been able to get it like on Amazon, I think, the last few weeks or so.
But they only put it in the theaters in Canada. Some
Yeah.
bullshit right there.
Yeah, that's
Where
racist.
were you going to come see it in the U.S.?
Right. I mean, I wasn't going to go see it. I don't care that much about Goon, but still.
We saw the first one at the Seafilm Center.
Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Knows Tales, which is a movie you should not watch.
He said it like Jason Mewes.
Dead man's tells those tales.
Yeah, don't see that movie. Don't see that. The Book of Henry, don't see that. No, that's unfair. I haven't watched it yet. I'm really excited for this to be out on Blu-ray so that I can watch it.
Regarding the Book of Henry.
Yeah, regarding the Book of Henry.
Wait. Pirates don't see that? See? I get it. Ocean, sea.
There's a movie called A Woman's Life, which is being released by Kino. That, I don't know, it looks like some kind of fancy thing. It's got a lot of names that aren't American. So maybe watch that, because that might be cool. City of Ghosts, which is something I've seen many posters for this year. I think that's a movie.
I like City of Stars better.
That's a movie you can watch. All right, here we go. Getting to the real meat. Cult of Chucky is out on Blu-ray this week.
I got mine a day early.
And aren't we supposed to have a big party watching that?
There will be
right.
one.
It's got an unrated version. Was it in theaters?
No.
Then it matter?
It's really bizarre. So they did the same thing with Curse of Chucky, where on the Blu-ray they have a rated and unrated version. I've never watched the rated version, so I don't know what's on it.
Weird.
It might be a different cut. Like,
it's definitely a different cut.
Well, not
but-
like
Here's the
maybe
good
it
cut.
feels better.
Here's the cut with
than
more
the other one.
gore
I don't know. But
and titties.
There's usually not too much nudity in Chucky movies.
Really?
it's more about the implication is more that a doll is trying to kill you.
Yeah,
Is
it's really
there-
not gore. It's more Chucky saying "fuck" all the time.
In those movies where Jennifer Tilly was her own doll, did the doll ever get naked?
Yes. In
Bride of Chucky.
Bride of Chucky, they fuck and then they have the seed of Chucky.
Is
the
it
next
almost
one.
exactly like the scene from Team America: World Police?
Minus
without
the pissing
the
and the
shitting.
poop.
Yeah, without
like,
the shitting.
They don't
Is
go
it-
as far as Trey.
Yeah, I mean, they also
did.
play "Only a Woman Can Love Me
He's
the
allowed to
Right
touch
Way."
me there.
Well, speaking of which,
Or a man.
you can see that in the 7-movie collection, Blu-ray collection of Chucky, all 7 of the films. When I say all 7, I don't actually know which movies that is.
Actually, I'd pick that up if it has all the up to the new one.
It has all of them. I
And
mean, I got the previous one because it had all of them plus Curse.
Yeah. And
Oh,
there's
yeah,
also
so
a
it has
Child's
the
Play
newest
that's
one.
like a Scream Factory too. So
Yeah, I never upgraded because it didn't seem like it was worth it.
Haunters, The Art of the Scare, is on Blu-ray this week, which is a documentary about people who make haunted houses, but I think it's different from that one that was really popular a few years ago. Does anybody remember what I'm talking about?
Nope.
Okay, a couple of years ago, there was a really good documentary about people who make haunted houses, and I can't remember the name. So I don't know. I might check this one out because I remember that documentary being really great too. So anyway, Little Shop of Horrors is getting a Blu-ray release this week with a director's cut attached to it, which has the different ending that everyone hated. There's also, this isn't in the news, but they're going to release that version to theaters for like a day. Or
hated
something.
or well, it didn't test. It didn't.
It did
test
not
well.
test well.
Yeah,
You can I already own that version. I have the Digibook version. That's the
okay.
non-Digibook version.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. Interesting. House of Cards season 5? Yep, 5.
Sure.
Is out on Blu-ray this week. If
Robin
you don't
Wright
have
is pretty.
If you don't have a Netflix account for some bizarre reason,
Kevin
did you
Spacey
know
is
Is she married to or just dating Ben Foster? I just learned this.
I don't know.
I think she's dating Ben Foster.
Nice. That's a great acting couple.
Good for her. She's like, robbing the cradle here.
Yeah.
He's also in Freaks and Geeks. He's fantastic. Criterion's putting out Vampire.
Super
influential horror film
on Blu-ray. So you can check that.
I'm actually tempted to get it and watch it and give my 2 cents. I like it, but I haven't seen it in a while.
Season 4 of Vikings, which is an amazing show. This is Season 4, Volume 2, which might mean that they're doing that Battlestar Galactica bullshit where they take seasons and break it in half so they make more money on the Blu-ray, which is fucking stupid. I should catch up on that show because that show's
Breaking
great.
Bad did that too.
Yeah. Bram Stoker's Dracula is getting a 4K release this week if you want to see that in 4K, but more importantly...
Whoa!
It's Dracula. I'm here to sell you some real estate.
I really hate that version of Dracula.
Really?
Van Helsing, help me.
I don't remember exactly what it was. I remember there's some really awesome. All the stuff with Gary Oldman is great.
Mm-hmm.
Like the shadows, and stuff like that. They come alive, and all of that is great. And then there's just all this nonsense that's just stupid. Anyway, Bridge Over the River Kwai is on Blu-ray this week, which is an awesome movie.
Great movie.
It's a 60th anniversary edition. You should check that out. It's got Alec Guinness in it, and he doesn't have a lightsaber.
Sir Alec Guinness.
And I think at the time he was just Alec Guinness.
That's true.
Just saying. Warm Bodies is also getting a 4K release.
I like that movie.
So yeah, you should check that out. Sure. 5 Harknado, Global Warming, is out this week.
It's like when Ralph Garman said, Batman 5 Superman.
See what I did there? Yeah. 5 Harknado. Anyway, moving on. Jackals, some movie. You ever heard of Jackals?
Scream Factory.
Is that one a Scream Factory?
Original production.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
I haven't seen it. It's getting okay reviews.
Yeah. You only clicked on it because it looked like it should be a Scream Factory, but then the Blu-ray.com, that's always kind of hard to see from the short list. Oh, I guess it says up there. Okay, cool. That's where I'll look in the future. And then from Arrow this week, it's always easy to see theirs because the cases are clear, is Children of the Corn on Blu-ray.
Meh.
Which the cover is cool.
Yeah, the cover is great. And the Blu-ray looks great, but...
I liked it enough, but it's a strange movie.
Out of 5 stars, 2. For me.
Maybe I'd give it a half of it just because I thought it was funny that these kids were... Well, one of the kids is like 25 years old, I found out. And he's like their leader. And I'm like, something's off about this kid. I don't get it.
And that's it. The Hallmark Home Entertainment is releasing A Heavenly Christmas, starring Kristen Davis and Eric McCormick and Shirley MacLaine.
Oh, that's a good pairing.
Yeah.
I like one of those people.
Yeah.
Guess which one?
Thanks, Hallmark. Is it Kristen Davis?
No.
I guess wrong. Do I get 3 guesses?
No. Would you want to? Let's just look at the one name that's of classic Hollywood.
Yep.
So,
that's this week.
We also do a segment called Real News.
It's Real News!
Usually we do it earlier than this.
Yep. Never know what I'm going to do.
Sony is
loose cannon for us.
2 days to retirement.
Sony is talking about casting Michelle Williams to star alongside Tom Hardy in a small indie film about the dangers of romance called Venom. There's no way this movie is actually...
I think it's supposed to film in like 2 months.
But for real though, when you cast Michelle Williams, this movie is no longer a superhero film, right? This is actually like a hardcore like indie drama called Venom, but like the word it's like mud, like it's just a word, and maybe his name is Venom. Like maybe he's
So you're saying every movie news site in the world got it wrong from the get-go,
and
now they're just they're just playing it off.
It's the only thing that makes sense. Like
they're just in utter denial.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that could get weirder is if they announce that the RZA is directing it. Like I just don't, I don't know how this is a thing. And by the way, if the RZA was directing Venom, starring Tom Hardy and Michelle Williams, I would see that shit.
Yeah, because Man with the Iron Fist isn't terrible.
Oh my god. Flight of the Navigator is getting a reboot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Brian, when was the last time you watched Flight of the Navigator?
Maybe 6-7 years ago.
Yeah.
I always
it doesn't hold up.
It does not. But when I was a kid, I always loved the idea of flying a spaceship, listening to Beach Boys.
Yes. Oh, it's total. This is one of those where I can't get mad about this because this is a movie where the ideas and stuff are really cool. You could make a great movie.
Yeah, I agree.
This, right? Like this is a movie that should be remade. Because there's nothing. It's not actually that good. There's no performance that's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
There's not like any visual effects that are unbelievably
Yeah, the only
cool.
thing people are going to latch onto is the nostalgia of knowing they watched it when they were a kid.
Exactly, and that's my point. Is like I watched it a lot when I was a kid, and we all it was one of our Heart Family canon films, but it's not good.
I always remember the clamshell where it's like all white,
yeah,
and it was him like with the shifter ball.
Half the movie is him sitting in a chair. It must have cost them like $500 to make that movie. I mean, if there was a budget, it's only because the actual set is made out of real silver. It's insane. But another reboot that's happening or was announced this week is of a movie that shouldn't be remade, and that's Hocus Pocus. There's no reason to remake that movie.
So I've heard reboot, remake, sequel. What is it really? What's going on with it?
Who
cares?
The most recent thing is they're saying reboot, remake. But it doesn't matter because none of the original cast is in it.
And I know Kenny Ortega is directing it, and I'm not the biggest fan of him.
This is the only good thing Sarah Jessica Parker's ever done.
Ed Wood?
Shut up. I was trying to say something extreme.
I fight with my wife with this every year. She puts it on for Halloween, and I will refuse to watch. I think the movie's awful.
Hocus Pocus is great. It's so much fun.
Brad, have you seen Hocus Pocus?
I don't. I'm not sure.
It's
I don't know.
shitty.
I
Don't
think
see
I
it.
have.
Don't see it.
It's definitely when I was a kid.
No, it's a fun, wacky movie where three witches who get hung for being witches back in the day come back to life to sing songs and haunt this family and eat virgins.
I think it came out the same time as Ernest Scared Stupid. So
you made the right choice.
Ooh, no, it didn't.
I like the part where they go up to a guy's house and they think it's Satan, and it's actually just some swinger in a costume.
I would put them on a similar level of silliness that it's also, it's a TV movie. Like, why would you remake this thing?
Is it just me, or does Bette Midler in that movie kind of look like Pennywise but without makeup?
Oh, totally. Yes. She totally does. And that's part of why, like, if you don't cast Bette Midler, no.
Beaches.
No. This movie shouldn't be made.
That's a movie she made.
Here's another reboot or remake or weird sequel. Shaft.
Oh, boy.
So Netflix did just something weird. The only reason this is news is because basically Netflix is distributing this movie digitally outside of the U.S. So inside the U.S., the new Shaft movie will look and feel and be distributed the same way as any other movie. But if you're international, like 2 weeks, I think, after the release in the U.S., you will just be able to watch Shaft on Netflix. Which is just interesting. I don't know. It's weird. That might become the way of things, but at the same time, there's so much money to be made internationally. But if it's a way that a movie like, if Shaft is too Americanized for like international audiences to really give a shit about, then it's entirely possible that that's a really good distribution model that, you can
That's
go
kind of my
money.
fear, is that this is like, it's a very American movie.
Yeah.
Because of like, the first one was about. This new one is like the son of Shaft, who was Samuel L. Jackson, who's the nephew of Shaft, who is Richard Roundtree.
Right.
So they're turning it into a 21 Jump Street kind of thing, which I think kind of demeans the purpose of that film, but whatever.
Yeah, that's too bad.
Ernest Scared Stupid came out in 91, and Hocus Pocus was 93, so I'm completely misinformed.
They were both on TV at the same time. By the time they were showing Scared Stupid on TV on the Disney Channel or on Nickelodeon or whatever, they were also showing the Hocus Pocus.
Okay.
For like Disney Channel Halloween nights or whatever.
I only ever saw them in the theater, so that's irrelevant to me.
No, because Hocus Pocus was never in the theater.
Yeah, it was.
That's my point.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was.
No, I thought it was a made-for-TV movie.
No.
Oh.
It made $34 million that year.
Oh, never mind.
Through Disney subscriptions.
Yeah. Cool. Amazon is going to make Ringworld and Snow Crash into a TV show. I only mention that because those are cool things. I'm going to move that to the end of the news section. DC says that they don't really care about their movies like intertwining as much anymore. Like, basically what they're saying is, hey guys, we're not trying to make the Marvel Cinematic Universe this isn't all going to be like one big story. We want these things to be able to stand on their own, but not interact with, or but not conflict with each other.
I smell something bad coming in November.
Yeah, you think this is a bad sign for Justice League?
They are talking a shit ton, and they're reneging. They reneged on that today.
Oh,
so,
did they?
Yeah, there's an updated article on it. You'll have to check it out another time, but like
okay.
it's just, I don't know. Like I don't think they know what they want over there.
Well, I definitely think they don't know what they want.
I'm interested in Justice League, but I feel like they don't know. Like I feel like it's in chaos there.
But the good news is that they're going to use the original theme from Superman. So
in a way that you
cool.
won't recognize unless you're really listening, according to the interview.
Danny Elfman's doing the Justice League.
Yeah.
So that's...
Well, I think if Superman comes back, I think having this soundtrack just sprinkled in, I think it's a good idea.
I mean, the Superman theme is, it's one of the best.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it's also like...
I like it.
I always wonder about the soundtrack rights, because like it's John Williams' score, but it's Warner Brothers' movie.
Yeah, I'm sure
so.
Warner Brothers
John
owns
Williams
the right
doesn't
to the
own the
music.
rights to that, yeah. I think he has the right to like play it, but I think he needs permission to distribute it. The Nice Guys is getting a TV show called The Nice Girls. Called The Nice Girls, where it's ladies. I just want another movie.
What? They're womanizing it again?
What kind of country do we live in?
Also, it should be The Nice Gals. No?
Yeah.
Isn't girls is more demeaning than guys. Whereas like nice gals, the nice gals. The nice gal, it doesn't ring as good a bell. Anyway.
Ideas, guys.
Man, I'm super not in the mood to talk about this, but there's a bunch of shit going on over at Alamo Drafthouse. It seems like they fired a guy for sexual harassment and then hired him back. Tim League probably shouldn't have done that. I don't know. It's like a Jacob's Ladder fucking scenario. One thing leads into another that leads into another thing that leads into 5 different things. Like, yeah.
It just sucks.
If I don't talk more about this, it's only because I'm not in the mood to talk about it, and not because I am firmly against giving second chances to people who have used their position or proven not to be trustworthy in their position, like especially to that degree. You should fire those people, and their second chance is they get to go get a job somewhere else, even if they are your friends. I'm sorry. If Tim League really did what people are saying that he did, he should not. That shouldn't be okay, and he needs to come out and admit it. At the same time, I don't want us to necessarily just gloss over it because we like the Alamo Drafthouse. I love the Alamo Drafthouse. I will continue to support the ones in Denver, certainly, because they're franchises and not like they pay franchise taxes to the corporate structure, but they're not led by Tim League. If I were in Austin, I would be pretty pissed about it, and I would be pretty vocal about it. But
it's sad, but it happened. So
yeah. Anyway, and then the very last thing, dude, look at this picture. This is a picture of Harrison Ford punching Ryan Gosling in the face. This is the best news of the week.
I love that Harrison Ford's like, oh shit!
Oh shit! I didn't mean to, man.
Ryan Gosling's like,
Ryan Gosling is in heaven. Harrison Ford just punched me.
Indiana Jones has punched me like a Nazi.
Oh my god! Look, he's so happy. He's in pain, but he's so happy.
I want to play that picture with the song "This Is No Ordinary Love."
I have the shooting notification, but you can almost see he clearly hit him hard enough. Harrison Ford is going to reach for his hand like, oh shit, that hurt.
My knuckles just turned to dust.
Oh, this is the best news all week. Just look, just keep looking at it. It's just everything about this is gold.
It's even a good-looking photo too.
Yeah. So this is a still from the set of Blade Runner 2049. At a time.
Harrison Ford looks like he's doing his best impression of Chris Tucker going, "Oh damn."
Oh man, this is great. I think it was Ryan Gosling who recently told this story at on a chat show. Oh man, he accidentally walloped me in the face. But yeah, it's just so good.
That's a part of film history now, guys.
Oh, I'm gonna make this my background.
I want that taught at every USC class now. And then there was the day the most beautiful man on the planet was punched by another beautiful man of the planet.
It's so good. Anyway.
Sorry about that. This week on Real Nerds Podcast, we saw American Made. Brad, did you see American Made?
I did see American Made.
Should people go see American Made?
Meh. It's all right. I don't know what to say about it. It's creative in ways, but it's kind of the same fall from grace drug story you've ever seen. So, except it's got like a unreliable narrator, I guess. So that's different. I haven't seen that too much. I don't know if you call him unreliable, but
yeah,
I don't want to spoil it either. So, it's okay. It's all right.
Zach?
Well, damn, man, I'm on the Cruise train again because this was my favorite Tom Cruise movie in a while. I can't say it's like the greatest movie based on in this genre because I think it's ultimately a gangster movie, but it's not done as a gangster movie with the traditional characters. To me, it felt like Top Gun meets Goodfellas, which actually somehow kind of worked. And I saw it in Dolby at the AMC Highlands Ranch 24, and it sounded incredible. And it looked incredible, too. The cinematography in that film is some of the coolest I've seen this year in terms of color. Like, they made it look like a fucking 80s movie, like, to a T, in my opinion.
Except for one thing. I'll talk about it later.
Okay. I mean, we'll talk a little bit more about it, but I like the way they opened it up a little bit, like starting with the Universal logo and then cutting into the 80s logo. I thought that was, like, it took me off guard. And I think this is one of Tom's finest performances in a while, where he's not playing a character we come to know, you know? Like, I love Ethan Hawke, but, like, since Tropic Thunder, I haven't seen him do something that I thought was absolutely just out of his wheelbox, and I thought this was kind of, like, unlike him, and we'll get to a certain scene later.
Ethan Hunt.
Ethan Hunt.
Oh, Ethan Hunt.
Two things. Ethan Hawke and Wheelbox.
I love potato chips, but this is the first time I've seen Tom Cruise be great.
James?
Yeah, this is the first time I've watched a Tom Cruise movie and literally thought to myself, is Tom Cruise bad? I'm serious. Yeah, this movie's actually, I think this movie's really interesting. This movie's really not great, but it's pretty good. Like, I was like, okay, yeah, like, I was always interested, but never, I've used this quote a number of times. I felt, like, touched but never moved. Like, it was one of those where it's like, here's an interesting story that should be amazing, but most of the time I'm just like, okay, I think I know where this is going. And I think because it is so similar to so many other, like, gangster movies that I've seen.
It's shitty people doing shitty things.
Yeah, and you know, I tend to not care about those characters very much, but this guy is actually really interesting. And the layers of, like, crazy shit that happened on top of each other are pretty cool. But so yeah, it's, if you're in the mood to go see a movie and it isn't Blade Runner Friday yet, then this is a movie you should go see. But if there's literally anything else in the theater that, like, you know for sure you want to see, then, like, go see that. This Renter. It's a Renter.
I actually had a lot of fun in this movie. I think Cruise is pretty great. I do like that he isn't really a good guy.
Yeah,
he's always kind of a piece of shit.
Mm-hmm.
Because, you know, whatever he has is never good enough for him. You know, how much money do you need? How much of a daredevil do you need to be? I thought it was lots of fun. Who's the Schaefer? His handler was great.
Oh, Tom Gleason.
Yeah, he's maybe my favorite part of the movie.
It's pretty fun. Yeah, I had fun in the movie, and I'm a big Tom Cruise fan, so I always have fun when Tom Cruise is also having fun in a movie, and I could tell he is having a ball making this movie. Yeah, here's a trailer for American Made.
This is the United States Drug Enforcement Agency. We are ordering you to land.
All right, boys, let's land.
Is he?
My name's Barry Seal.
That's for the damage. For your sister, hey, little darling, and your back.
Some of this shit really happened.
You never saw me.
Top of your class in the Civil Air Patrol. A pilot like you shouldn't be flying buses.
Welcome to Miami. Welcome to Bakersfield.
Haven't you ever wanted something more, Barry?
You should be serving your country.
You're CIA.
Shh. We need you to deliver stuff for us.
Oh, this is legal?
If you're doing it for the good guys.
Barry Seal's a goddamn genius.
You are an airline pilot, Barry. That's how you support this family.
This is gonna be good for us.
Is this all legal?
You trust me?
No.
We're expanding operations, Barry.
The devil you know, the devil you know, the devil you don't. The devil you know, the devil you don't.
Roscoe dug this up in the backyard. There are bills blowing around everywhere.
I'll rake it up in the morning.
ATF, drop your weapons!
Guns, drugs, money laundering.
Did y'all know that caddies have more trunk space than any other car? I'll get each and every one of you a caddy for your troubles. See, I'm gonna walk out of here. There ain't a damn thing any one of you can do about it.
He's free to go.
Wait a minute. Boy should have taken the caddies.
I was working for the CIA, the DEA, and Pablo Escobar.
1,500 kilos.
That's 1,500 kilos, Barry, in one go.
Get it done.
American Made tells a very loose version of the Barry Seal story.
In the same way that Pain and Gain told the story of the Sun Gym murders.
Yeah.
So
what is it?
Barry Seal was a real guy?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Because not knowing the history, I was suspicious that this was someone trying to tell the Iran-Contra story through like a fictional character.
No, he's real. Really loose because if I remember correctly, he was brought in at the end. Like, he wasn't working for the government the whole time. He was kind of brought in at the end after I think he was convicted of like smuggling cocaine in or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't remember. I'm pretty sure it's something like that. And the reason they used him is because he had intimate knowledge of how to smuggle stuff in and out of the country, and then they ended up recruiting him for it.
So my folks saw this movie before I did, and then they gave me one mission, which was find out exactly what it says when it says based on a true story, but I totally missed it because I was paying attention to the opening credits. What does it say? Because it says something other than just like based on a true story.
Oh, fudge.
The poster says based on a true lie. So
I know what you're talking. I totally forgot that.
Yeah, and I just missed it because all the credit stuff was happening, and I
think it said based on actual events.
Maybe. I know he worked for TWA and he got fired, and then he did his drug smuggling.
Right, but in this movie, he just walks off a plane.
Yeah.
And I was like, you dick.
Yeah.
So those people got to get somewhere.
But, I mean, it's fun. He's. I like the build of the character at the beginning where he's really bored with the checks, and then when everyone's asleep, he like makes the plane stall and
he intentionally does turbulence.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love the line, "Do you trust me?" Like it's supposed to be something meaningful.
Fuck
she goes,
no.
"The fuck no."
And what Tom Cruise is one of his biggest strengths is he's like in this movie he's not a good guy, but he still has a charm where you kind of like him.
Oh yeah,
and I think that's one of his biggest strengths as an actor.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I end up liking this movie more than I do like a Goodfellas or something like that, where because I don't like those characters. Whereas this guy, I kind of root for, and especially because he does there's a slant to the story that is like, well, you're working for the CIA, and your CIA handler brought you drug money and said everything is yours. So like, and he gave you all the maps and put you in places where you could totally just bring drugs into the country and said it was okay. So like, why not go make a bunch of money?
Hey, Schaefer, where are you going? Who the fuck is Schaefer?
Right. That was maybe one of my favorite sequences, even though that's one of those moments that's like so over. Like, you watch these based on a true story movies, and like there are times every now and then where you're like, okay, they totally rewrote this section. The scene where everyone shows up at his warehouse to arrest him at the same time.
That's funny.
I was like, this is funny, and I'm enjoying. Like, I remember it was one of the few times I laughed out loud during the movie,
Jesus.
but I was also like annoyed at how obviously made up that part was. But a neat idea, and yeah, the fact that like he finally thinks that the CIA are picking him up. And they're like, we don't even know who you're talking about. Like, there's just so many government entities all doing crazy shit at once that no one knows what's going on.
I mean, the movie's fun, and I also love that he he sends his wife and children away, and he's like, "Now I'm probably gonna go away for a long time, so they can't take stuff off you." Then he's in court. It's like 1,000 hours community service. I can go, and he doesn't want to go because he knows he's going to get killed.
Do I have to leave?
And he really was. He was assassinated at that place in real life. So
that's a terrible shame.
What I liked
Wait,
about
no, don't do drugs. Never mind. Yeah, sorry.
No, I'm never saying do drugs.
No, I was saying, it's a real terrible shame.
It's funny,
he
though,
died.
I don't think Cruise in the movie ever does drugs.
He doesn't.
But there's a great scene where he's covered in drugs and he runs and then he gets a kid's bike. He rides a kid's bike down the street, and I was like, "That's the best running I've ever seen Tom Cruise do."
Well,
it was just those few steps.
I was thinking too. In this movie, he only runs when BJ says "fuck you and your cunt wife," and he like gets out of his car and chases him, and then he blows.
I thought he ran a little bit toward the. Oh wait, no, he stumbled out.
Yeah,
BJ got the kid's bike and then.
BJ is the best part of this movie. I loved BJ so much.
That reminded me so much of fucking like.
You're gonna send me money every week. And that man, when that car explodes, was
in Dolby. When you do it in Dolby, have you been? We went to Dolby for Star Wars: Force Awakens. But like Dolby sound, when it's a certain sound effect cues, you could feel the back of your seat reverb.
Yeah.
And when that car blew up, that happened. So it was like an extra jolt.
I was at I didn't go to the Alamo. There was an earlier screening over here at the South Glen. And I should have prefaced this. The audio was a little too low. The screen was too dark. And I think it was out of focus because when the credits rolled, they were all out of focus. And I went, great. So there is the caveat of like I actually found myself on a weird edge at the beginning of the movie when I should have been having fun with the credits because they were way too quiet. And I was like, no, like if you're gonna play this music, like play this music loud and like show me all this stuff loud, And
you're colorblind, so you're missing that too.
And I can't see any colors, so yeah.
But I liked Doug Liman as a director, and I liked how this is. This reminded me a lot of the stuff he did in the 90s before he started doing blockbusters.
Mm-hmm.
Because, whether it's Go or Swingers or something like that, I'm just like, dude, this is actually like...
Well, I always like, too, it's always, when you say, it only costs $50 million to make, that's still a lot of money, but it's kind of cool to see a little more, I guess, low-tech movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and those plane sequences are incredible.
Yeah. Tom Cruise really flying.
I wondered why they were putting it in select IMAX locations, and then when I saw those sequences, I'm like, that must be where the IMAX is.
There's a really funny interview if you follow the American Made page with Doug Liman, and he said, "Oh, we hired stunt pilots," and Tom looked at me, he's like, "I'm flying the planes." So that's pretty cool. Yeah. Brad, what you had issues with it? Sorry.
Yeah, it was fun. The one glaring thing was, I don't know about you guys, but everything was very 70s, 80s, except for his wife. She looked like she was out of like 10 years ago. Like her hairstyle and
I guess I could see that attention.
Yeah.
Oh, I
could see that.
Like you think if they were making an 80s movie, they like crimp her hair or something, or blow out or something.
Yeah.
I guess that's...
She was too attractive, is your point. They should have made her uglier, like the 80s, like women in the 80s. No offense, just. You look back at pictures of women in the 80s and you're like, man, you're really attractive. If not for
blown up perm, but like one of it's like ponytailed off to the side.
And,
if not for all the things you're doing to block how pretty you are.
So that was weird. It felt like she was out of place. But
she had some good moments.
And then some of
she's great. I loved her.
Like film quality, because it would like change from film to like documentary style.
Yeah, it was weird
at weird times, especially in the very beginning. But yeah, and then the end. It's like spoilers.
Right.
He doesn't make it.
I already mentioned it, but it's also history.
It's always kind of weird when the movie keeps, like, you're watching a movie about a person who's dead and they're narrating their own story. So,
yeah, those were the parts where I genuinely did. I think one of the earliest, because the way it's cut together is bizarre and sort of threw me off. It took me a while to realize, like, the reason the year keeps changing is because he keeps filming some of this in December of one year and January of the next. And I'm like, okay. Anyway.
And then also, like, he has that mountain of evidence in his trunk, but, like, a ton of high-up people. Like, this is based on real life, and almost none of those people have...
Because Schaefer showed them his badge, and he sees the car and the evidence.
What?
That was the CIA coming after him.
No. What he's saying is, if I have all this evidence, why don't I go to the CIA and be like, hey... y'all got to protect me. I have all of this evidence.
Like he's evidence
like,
all the
do
way to
something.
the president. Like,
yeah,
well,
like
I think they didn't because the CIA had that one. He's like, burn everything. You don't know him. So
Yeah.
he's basically telling a story because they don't give a shit.
Yeah.
yeah.
but I'm just surprised how like I've never heard of this guy considering the like evidence that has been made available. Like
This was though in those scenes where he's talking to the camera. There's something about the way that stuff is written that, which is maybe me giving Tom Cruise a free pass, but there was literally, I wasn't kidding. There was a moment where I went, like he said something and it was worded funny, and he stumbled over it in a way that felt like it made me see Tom Cruise and not the character, and I went, is Tom Cruise being like bad? Like I was sitting there watching him going like, I don't think this is good. I think he's not good right now. And then it cut away to like the real, like, hey, here's the real story. And I was like, oh no, it's good. No, he's good. This is weird. I just feel like the way the film is structured, I was like, I don't know why you did it this way. I don't know. Yeah, it's just.
I also like how in detail they get into like how he outwits everybody. So
yeah,
that's a plus.
Yeah,
instead of just glossing over it, like, oh, he just gets away. It's like, well, he waits out the other planes because he has more fuel and stuff like
really
that.
cool.
Like, really, yeah.
Yeah.
Also, the very final scene with Domhnall Gleeson, both the best / corniest thing you could do. I know, we'll get the Iranians to train the Contras. And then, bam, that text pops up. Schaefer got a promotion.
Yeah.
I'm like, this was about the Iran. God damn it! I didn't. Why was I not paying attention the whole movie?
I love the fact that
I heard Contras throughout the whole damn thing. I didn't think they were going to lead up to that point.
I love the fact the scene where the guy from Star Trek Enterprise shows up to play George W. Bush.
Yeah. That was George W. Bush?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Because he says, like, I was Texas Air National Guard, 68 to
Oh, yeah.
or 67 to 69.
I didn't
Junior.
study his life.
Yeah,
Nice
they
meeting
call
ya.
that's the real thing is they call him Junior and then he leaves.
There's a news story where they said that President Clinton was supposed to make a cameo in a strip club, and I was like,
well,
damn.
at the time, Governor Bill Clinton.
go Governor Bill Clinton.
But yeah, I think it was probably that we would have seen like when he calls her at the DA at the office. I think they probably the scene
Would have been
on the
him
other end was him calling from the strip club to be like, "Hey,
you gotta let that Tom Cruise guy.
You gotta let Barry go." That wasn't terrible.
I try.
Yeah.
It's also it's weird. Like after they do the Contra connection, they show that clip of Reagan being questioned about the Contra, and all he's saying is like, "All I know is that this turkey's gonna look great on my table." Like, wow. Lyman's being like, Lyman's lost his mind at this point.
Yeah.
Like, I love how he edited all the footage together. It looks awesome.
Yeah.
And like the fact that Tom Cruise has a monologue about explaining how great Reagan is because of the fact that he was able to go from that monkey movie, Bedtime for Bonzo, to being the great Gipper. I'm like, fuck, man, like this has way too... Doug Liman said, I need to make a movie for Zach so he can put it in his top 10 this year where he's going to be entertained. So, I liked it. I loved it. It was great. You know?
Yep. Next week is James's birthday.
Yay!
And no one cares because next week also Blade Runner 2049 comes out.
Yay!
Just kidding.
And the My Little Pony movie.
Emily Blunt does have a voice role in that.
So
I will not watch it. So we'll be seeing Blade Runner celebrating James's birthday. James are going to be on the show next week.
I'm hoping so. Yeah.
Cool. Also, if you're out and about on Sunday, come see us at what's the name of the restaurant? Sorry.
Mutiny Information Cafe.
Mutiny Information Cafe.
It's like Broadway and I'm going to say Ellsworth? Yeah.
I think it's Ellsworth. Yeah. If not, we'll send you the directions.
Come out and say hi to us. We'll be there. And we'll be also reviewing Blade Runner there.
And go see Brad next Wednesday at the Peak
Film Forum.
Peak Film Forum.
I also is associated with Pikes Peak, Colorado Springs.
Yep.
He'll be out there.
James kind of went to Porky Pig mood there for a minute.
What are we doing the other 2 weeks of October until Halloween?
Are they bad? Are they bad weeks?
One of them's Geostorm, which I don't want to see, but you guys have mentioned. Another one is I don't know what's coming out.
I think it's the Snowman Murder one.
The Snowman one looks interesting.
With Michael Fassbender.
Yeah, that might be cool.
I was going to posit a suggestion that we
have one more.
Huh?
Oh, go ahead.
Because I guess Jigsaw's the fourth week. I'm guessing we're doing Jigsaw.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll be
As
I'll
excited
be
as we are
literally
for it.
anywhere else. Yeah.
but since it's like October, maybe we should those middle 2 weeks do like at-home horror movies.
We could. Oh wait,
Medea Halloween 2?
The 13th, Marshall and The Foreigner are out, and I would see either of those films. And then the 20th is Snowman. Yeah. Or Geostorm, or Tyler Perry's Boo 2, A Medea Halloween.
Yeah, I'm going to be down for that. Fine, fuck you guys and fuck Halloween. I don't care.
I don't give a shit about Halloween.
No, wait, were you thinking at-home horror movie? I thought you were saying Film Explosion for a second, but I was like,
no,
yeah, we have one more Film Explosion to do.
Yeah,
for the year.
I was trying to think of something cool and different, but whatever.
Shit, but, yeah. But what do you mean?
Let's go watch a shitty movie.
I mean, no, I don't understand what you're asking us.
No, I think he means watch, do commentary, right?
No, like Friday the 13th. The first one is our movie of the week. Except we don't actually go to the theater, and then the other one, I don't know, is like A Nightmare on Elm Street or something.
The week of Jigsaw, I'm just going to go see Suburbicon because fuck you guys.
Well, I'm going to see that too.
We're all going to see Cult of Chucky on the week after Blade Runner, so
we could always review that.
We are?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you're
I don't know.
I see what you're saying.
Know.
I see what you're saying now. Yes, okay.
I just thought it'd be cool to have a Halloween themed month, but and there's also like a dozen
what's more
horror
Halloween
movies at the Alamo.
What's more Halloween than replacing a person's head with a snowman head?
That's fair.
I don't know. Maybe I.
Lots of things are more Halloween than that, but yeah,
I celebrate Halloween differently.
Yeah, your Halloween's supposed to be terrible if that's your.
We'll figure it out. Sorry, I just didn't understand what you're asking me at first. Yeah, that sounds fun.
No, we could do that. You want to hear something funny? Next week, one of the Blu-ray releases we're going to talk about is the Divergent series on Blu-ray, where they're putting all three of the films together, but all three of the films is not the complete Divergent series.
Oh, because that.
Are they still making that TV show?
Nope.
Because no one cares.
They should call it the Cliffhanger Edition.
I think I already own all three of those films. Fuck me.
Wow.
Okay. I wonder what it's like to be an author that gets a huge book deal that goes on to being a movie, and then people hate the movie but love your book. And then public consciousness becomes the movie and not the book.
Then she's.
I'm just showing you this picture again because it's great.
Oh, I thought you were making a Philip K. Dick analogy.
Oh, Paycheck is a great book. Yeah.
Till next week.
Bye.
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 Is Brad a replicant? Real Nerds Podcast is a Nebulous Visions multimedia production. The Real Nerds would like to thank the Alamo Drafthouse in Littleton and now open in Sloan's Lake. We also would like to thank Colorado Coins, Cards, and Comics, especially Andrew. Our music has been brought to you by Sparks Mandrill and Plan 9 Studios. And, of course, thanks to James's mother, our most loyal listener. Have a nice day.
And Ryan, you're probably going to be fine.
I love boobies.
Fair.
Real Nerds Podcast is a partner of Denver Podcast Network in the shadow of the mountain.
We speak.